Right? Self-limiting exercises are a way to get the client to do what you want them to do without even having to cue them. That almost was an unintentional rhyme, wasn't it? Do without the cue. But without cueing them on what you're trying to get them to do, all right? So what we're trying to do is implement ways that they do the exercise where they just kind of automatically adjust to get out of it what we're trying to do. Like think of a bottoms-up kettlebell, like a press or just walking, something like that. If anything goes wrong in the rotator cuff or in the core, it'll fall apart, right? So it's almost like they automatically adjust and get into a groove where they do it right without you having to say anything or move them or do anything. They just kind of do it right. Okay, goblet position's one of these things too. Like we get them here, we get them in that goblet position, and all of a sudden their upper back posture and everything just kind of, the abs kick in, everything just kind of does what it's supposed to do, right? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get these self-limiting exercises where, like a front squat would be that way. You can, like at some point, you just end up tilting forward, so you can't use, like it's, like you can, I need to be careful, be aware of how I was saying that, because like it's hard to use too much weight in a front squat because you end up dumping forward, right? It's hard to do it poorly because you end up dumping it forward. So it's a little bit of a self-limiting exercise. So we want to use these self-limiting exercises to a certain extent in our workouts, because then the people just kind of automatically adjust. You know, walking on 2x4s might be a similar thing. Let's say a suitcase carry and they're walking on 2x4s. If they don't put their foot down right and they wobble a little bit, something goes wrong in their trunk, they're going to step off the boards. Okay? You don't want to make this dangerous, and you don't want to make this like a really heavy, intense thing. You know, you never want to run on a 2x4, for instance. But we want to use these things. You know, one of the things I like to do is put a foam roller on someone's back while they're doing a bird dog or a bear crawl. And you have to be a little careful here, because, or aware of what you're doing here, because what if they live in just tons of lordosis? Do you want to be, you know, perpetuating that alignment? No. So you have to be aware here, but you can use this kind of stuff because then they notice, like the foam roller will kind of give them some feedback as to where they're, like how they're stabilizing in rotary stability, right? Where their hips are, where their core is, how they're rotating, how they're not rotating, right? So we want to give them this level of feedback, and one of the ways that you can do that is through self-limiting exercises. Going in line on a 2x4, like in a half kneeling position, is another way to do this for like maybe like a chop and lift sort of thing. Okay, there's all different kinds of ways to do this, and you want to build out your repertoire of how you're going to use self-limiting exercises. Just being barefoot would be a form of self-limiting exercise, but it's about doing things better, not doing things more. This is one of the things with the barefoot running craze that got very misunderstood. It's not about running further because you're barefoot. It's about running better while barefoot, because how your foot strikes the ground almost has to be perfect, or you get this, you know, pain mechanism coming back to you, because we can run pretty lazy with the technology in our shoes. So we take off the shoes, and all of a sudden our feet have to hit the ground better when we're moving. Okay, so inline single-sided exercises, single leg squats, one dumbbell incline press, one dumbbell bench press, those kind of things are ways to develop this self-limiting exercise. A one-arm push-up, a one-arm dumbbell, one-arm cable row is another example. You know, we have to lock in here, lock in our hips, and pull with that one arm. It's a way to kind of get some self-limiting exercise. You could use different grips, fat grips, softballs, ropes, even sleds would be a type of self-limiting exercise, because at some point you're just not going to be able to keep on adding weight without making the exercise worse. Do you see what I mean? We want to develop these ways of self-limiting exercise to get the client to do what they need to do to get what they want to get out of the exercise without us saying a word, because then they just automatically do it without us saying anything. Okay? We don't get in the way, we don't cause distraction, they're just automatically engaged, and their body's engaged in doing what we want them to do. So build out your repertoire upon this, and use these. Self-limiting exercises are fantastic.